with your first look at the day's top stories and a forewarned forecast. This is News 4 at 4.
Welcome back to News 4 at 4 as we take another live look over downtown Buffalo through our tower cam high above the city. A few raindrops there on our tower cam, and that has kind of been that really tells the story. That picture tells the story of what we've been seeing today. A definite change in all the dry weather and the sunny weather that we've been seeing, but at least the temperatures are kind of moderating. They're not dropping down to where we should be seeing some snow.
Yeah, yesterday you said it was 2 weeks
yes.
of dry weather. It was
almost
actually 10 days.
I looked it up.
Yeah, I looked it up. 10 days, and of course today that all came to an end. This is a view of the satellite and radar over the last 3 hours. And you can see places across the southern tier and in northern Pennsylvania did see a decent amount of freezing rain earlier on. That is starting to come to an end, and just in time, because winter weather advisories are in place there till 5 p.m. and then they expire. Now, other areas are talking about just plain old rain showers that will continue for a little while longer. You will notice, however, there's kind of a break here, and we've got a little bit of dry time headed our way, but I don't think the rain's over just yet for the remainder of the evening, and here's why. We're talking about a front that will roll through later on in the evening that will bring a new batch of rain starting at about 8 o'clock and lasting all the way through about 1 or 2 in the morning before tapering off completely. Now, what's behind it? A cloudy, kind of drizzly, damp Wednesday, a little bit more rain on Thursday. But if you're wondering about the holiday weekend, here's the forecast for you. For Good Friday, we've got a mix of kind of some clouds, sunshine, even a couple of raindrops. And that story really goes for Saturday as well. Sunday, Easter Sunday, I think it will be primarily a dry day. A couple of snowflakes, maybe a few raindrops will mix in as temperatures flirt with that freezing point, especially early on in the morning. But then as we move towards Monday or Dingus Day, if you do celebrate, those temperatures a bit cooler in the mid-30s and a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of rain, and a little bit of snow. So nearly each and every day we've got the chance for a little bit of precip moving in, but overall there will be good batches of dry time as well. Now, coming up in my full forewarned forecast, we're going to continue to break down the day-to-day details for you. We're also going to talk about that next batch of rain arriving later on tonight and how much additional rainfall accumulation you can expect.
A very festive Easter graphic, Kaylee. Thank you very much. Don't forget, you can get the latest forecast right in the palm of your hand at any time just by downloading our Forewarned weather app. It has hourly forecasts you can customize right to your neighborhood, and our live Forewarned Doppler radar. It's all free for your phone tablet. A former dean from Michigan State University spent the night in jail. Former MSU Dean William Strample was arrested yesterday. He's the second person to face criminal charges in the worst sex abuse scandal in sports history. A young woman at MSU reported Larry Nassar to the university after she says the former doctor abused her during an exam at an MSU clinic. But the school told the woman an investigation had cleared Dr. Nassar. What she didn't know at the time was that MSU had told Nassar and his boss, William Strample, that it had found, quote, significant problems with Nassar's conduct. Strample, the fired dean, established guidelines for Nassar that he apparently never enforced, like having another person in the room during sensitive procedures and limiting skin-to-skin contact. Strample now faces a series of charges for neglecting his duties and for criminal sexual conduct. He's additionally accused of touching a student and storing nude photos of female students on his work computer.
If Dr. Strample covered this up and he himself engaged in misconduct, he's right now exactly where he belongs.
Larry Nassar is serving prison sentences that will keep him behind bars for the rest of his life. Another major development in the 2016 shooting death of a man in Baton Rouge. Louisiana prosecutors announced today they will not be seeking charges against 2 police officers involved in the shooting. Alton Sterling was shot and killed outside of a convenience store in July of 2016. It was later revealed that Sterling had a loaded gun. Today's announcement resembles what federal prosecutors decided last May. At the time, they said the video evidence couldn't prove or disprove the officer's claims that Sterling was reaching for that gun. Almost a year later, after this latest decision, the family says they still feel shorted on justice.
People out there are getting smarter. We know that to hold you accountable is to get rid of your job if you're not going to step up.
They took a human away. They took a father away.
The Baton Rouge police chief says there will be a disciplinary hearing later this week for the 2 officers involved in this case. After that, he says they'll be releasing all the information they can under public records laws. A New York City firefighter was laid to rest today. In fact, hundreds of people gathered at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan to say their final goodbyes to Michael Davidson. He was a 15-year veteran of the NYFD who died fighting a fire on a movie set for the film Motherless, Brooklyn. Both his dad and brother were firefighters as well. He's survived by his wife and 4 children whose ages are between 1 and 7 years old. The actor, Edward Norton, he's the star and director of Motherless Brooklyn, has vowed to start a fundraiser to benefit Officer Davidson's family. Well, headlines from across the nation at this hour as firefighters fought massive flames in Newark, New Jersey this morning. This 3-alarm fire broke out at one home and then spread pretty quickly to 2 nearby houses. All 11 people inside those homes, they were able to get out safely. One firefighter was injured and taken to a hospital. The cause of this blaze still remains under investigation as of this afternoon. Well, people who fill out their 2020 census questionnaires will find a question they haven't seen in decades, and that is, are you a U.S. citizen? The question is a controversial one because it could frighten undocumented immigrants from filling out the form, and their information is needed. It was added at the request of the Justice Department. The census counts all people living in the U.S. regardless of their immigration status. The whistleblower who exposed a Facebook data breach testified before British lawmakers today, saying it is, quote, categorically untrue that political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica never used Facebook data. As Terry Okita reports, British politicians, they now want to hear from Facebook's founder.
Further evidence session of the
lawmakers on both sides of the Atlantic are pressuring Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg to testify about the company's recent data breach. British members of Parliament are requesting Zuckerberg appear before the House of Commons.
We believe, given the serious nature of the allegations that have been made around the access and use of Facebook user data, that it is appropriate that Mark Zuckerberg should give evidence.
Zuckerberg says he'll send a senior company executive in his place. Someone who did testify, the whistleblower, who says data from more than 50 million Facebook users was harvested by British consultancy firm Cambridge Analytica.
They don't care whether or not what they do is legal as long as it gets the job done.
Wiley painted a picture of a lawless company that used hacked material, illegal data, and intimidation tactics to win elections, including the 2016 presidential election.
For you, Donald Trump's election sort of crossed a line. You felt that techniques that you were aware of had been used, shouldn't have been used.
Donald Trump kind of makes it click in your head that this actually has a much wider impact.
Last week, UK authorities raided Cambridge Analytica's London headquarters looking for evidence. And in Washington, the Federal Trade Commission opened an investigation as well. Terry Okita, CBS News, London.
The well-documented financial troubles for CCS Oncology here in Western New York seem to be getting deeper today. FBI agents raided several of the medical group's locations this morning. According to a letter from the U.S. Attorney to CCS patients, federal authorities are trying to secure records for an ongoing investigation. They would not get more specific than that. A judge recently gave Bank of America permission to seize the medical group's assets to help cover the heavy debt that CCS owes the bank. The group has been trying to find new creditors and new investors. A CCS spokesman tells News 4 the offices remain open despite the FBI activity. News 4's Al Vaughters is following the story very closely, as he has been all day, and he'll have the full story coming up tonight on News 4 at 5 and 6 o'clock. Congress has taken a look at prescription prices, and News 4's Ali Ingersoll is hearing about these increased costs.
It's something that happens every year. Drug prices go up. Now, Congress is taking a look at it, looking at the inflation rates.
The rates are going up all the time.
Joe Brodzinski picks up about 16 different prescriptions each month, around 6 for him and 10 for his wife, estimating it costs several $100s.
It adds up big time.
One of his prescriptions went up from $40 to $130 after a coupon he had wasn't valid any longer.
I'm not going to spend my whole pension check on drugs.
It's an issue many senior citizens face. According to a congressional investigation, prices for the top 20 most prescribed drugs for seniors have increased over the last 5 years. On average, the price is now 10 times higher than it was in 2012.
It's outrageous.
Pharmacists do not set those prices.
Family medicine pharmacy owner Dennis Galuzzo says the price hikes affect local pharmacy owners too, as many times they'll lose money purchasing prescriptions.
Prices go up ubiquitously, and a rising tide floats all boats, right?
And for seniors like Brodzinski, he says they don't really have a choice other than to find ways to cover the increasing costs.
Well, it affects us every month. Things are going up. When you're on fixed income, you're retired, it bothers a lot of people.
And Galuzzo feels for any change to actually come about, Congress has to look at this and stand strong against the pharmaceutical companies. Reporting from Williamsville, Ellie Ingersoll, News 4.
Still ahead on News 4, spreading some sweetness. The young chef whose skills stretch far beyond the kitchen. You'll meet him coming up.